trainer here at ComponentSoft. We provide for our customers training and support in cloud-based, cloud-related open source technologies like Linux, MySQL, Docker, Kubernetes, OpenStack, and many more. I passed the Certified OpenStack Administration exam October 2016, and in this video I would like to share some inside tips and tricks how you can pass the Cinder related tasks on this exam, plus some general ideas how any exam looks like, which is provided by the Linux Foundation. So during your exam you will only allowed to have one browser open and only one tab in that browser which is related to that exam. So when you are started your exam, you have to close everything else, and in your browser, on the left part of the browser, you will see all the information what you need, plus all the tasks what you have to do, all the current tasks. Plus on the bottom of the left side, you will see an arrow where you can move for the previous task, and the right arrow where you can move for the next task. Unfortunately, there is no way to move to a specific task like task number 16, for example. So this is the overall idea for all the Linux Foundation related exam as far as I know. And inside or in specific to OpenStack certification, you will have two special extra tabs here in this working area. One of them is related to a web-based console, and the other one is basically the web UI, the horizon for OpenStack. Because of this limitation that you're only able to use one web browser and only one console in that web browser, you have to find a rather way to manage a bunch of problems. And for that, I will go to the computer and I show you how you can manage those problems. As I mentioned, you can only have your web browser open with only the tab related to the exam. And inside your working area, you will only have one web terminal console and the horizon, which is the web UI for OpenStack. If you want to make a note for yourself, for example, about the task that you are skipping and want to come back to that later, you have to write those notes inside the text file using only the provided web-based terminal and some text editor like Nano or Vim, so make sure you know at least one of them. Also, since you only have one terminal window, you cannot really multitask. You know what you are doing all the time. It is helpful to have one terminal reading the command help or manual, and the other terminal for actually typing the commands. So before the exam, try to learn using Screen or some similar program that you can use to split the terminal. On the Linux machine, you have root access, so you can install any program what you like. To check what type of operating system you are provided, you just simply have to run this cat/etc/os release command. And here you will see that right now I'm on a CentOS Linux, so I can install this screen utility using the yum install screen command if it's not provided by the operating system by default. If you are on a Debian or Ubuntu based machine, you usually use the apt-get or just the apt install screen to use it. And when you start the screen utility, the only thing what you will realize that everything it's like just starting a new terminal, so everything which was typed before is disappearing. Plus you have a few special keyboard shortcuts what you can use for creating the splitted terminal. So these are the shortcuts: Ctrl plus lowercase a, then a capital S will actually create a split in your screen. Then you can go and Ctrl plus lower A and hit the tab button. You are going to the lower part. Then you have to use the Ctrl lowercase a plus lowercase c to create the actual lower part of the screen. And then only you have to use the Ctrl A plus the tab button to be able to switch between the split screens. So let me demonstrate to you how this is work. So I already started my screen session. Now I hit Ctrl lowercase a, then capital S, and as you can see, the lower part is appeared. Ctrl A, then tab. Ctrl A, tab. I went to the lower part of my screen, but I cannot really type here. So if I'm typing, nothing will happen. So I have to actually create the new terminal. So I'm hitting again Ctrl A plus lowercase c. Now the lower terminal is actually appear. So I can use like Control A, then the tab, sorry, Control A together, then tab, so I can switch between the lower part and the upper part. So make sure you learn how to use screen. It helps a lot since you are short on time in the exam. Also, batch completion, for me at least, was not installed for the CLI utilities of OpenStack. So if you cannot memorize dozens of commands, the screen utility help with that as well. So if I'm going to, on the upper part, Control A together, then tab, and I say, okay, OpenStack volume, help volume, less, with the pipe, I can see all the available commands. And for example, if I'm choosing the create part, I can see the upper, all the possible size. Okay, I decided what parameters and subcommands do I have to use, so I just Control A, lowercase a together, then tab, and on the lower part I'm just writing that OpenStack volume creates, and you know the rest of it. So this is one way to help speed up the speed, so you don't have to constantly switch back and forth between the man page and the actual typing. Also for me, the web environment, this web console, did not really handle the Hungarian keyboard layout. So, and I have to switch to the US keyboard layout. So if you are not really familiar with the US keyboard layout, or you are not used to it, then make sure you are practicing it before the exam, because if you are using a German keyboard layout in your operating system, or you are using some other languages, there is a chance that it's not going to handle your special combinations, special characters, and maybe you will get into trouble. So make sure you are practicing the US keyboard layout as well. And yeah, let's start a bit more related to the OpenStack exam. Actually, usually you have to do everything as an OpenStack admin user, but some of the tasks some of the tasks will be that you have to create some new instance or new volume using a different username, like a different user admin, like user 110 or something like that. And also my experience is that during most of the tasks on the web horizon is more efficient in the exam than actually typing all the related environment variables in the command line. So in the next couple of minutes, I would like to show you both the Liberty version of the dashboard of Horizon of OpenStack, and both the Newton version, since in the beginning of 2017 we are still on Liberty on the exam, but later on, if my informations are correct, the foundation will be switching their exam environment to Newton, so I want to show both of that for you. So this is the Liberty dashboard. Many times during the exam you have to create a certain task as user A inside project number 2, and the next task you have to create as user B in project, I don't know, 45 for example. So you constantly have to switch the context, which user are you actually logged in your OpenStack infrastructure, and you have to create certain objects which provided by the task what you have to actually create. And my experience was during the exam that I was able to do this type of context switch much faster and easier using the dashboard than the command line utility, the web console, because I don't have to type constantly those environment variables like what you have to usually do. And usually on the daily basis, when your daily job is to manage an OpenStack infrastructure, you are probably OpenStack administrator and you are automating a bunch of stuff with shell scripts, for example, and you are using a same username and password, so as an OpenStack administrator, so you don't have to constantly switch. So using the CLI is probably more helpful on the daily basis. But I really advise everybody on the exam to try to use the dashboard because it's really easier, faster, and moreover is safer. So you're not ending make sure that you are not ending a situation that you are doing correctly all the tasks. You create the correct volume with the correct name, the correct size, but you are accidentally doing it in the wrong project.
So after you logged in into the dashboard, it's really easy to find out which user did you logged in and where are you actually, what type of context actually. So for example, right now, as you can see, I'm logged in as an admin user. This is shown in the top right side. And on the top left side, next to the OpenStack logo, I see that I'm in the default domain and the admin project. So if my task, for example, in the exam that, okay, as an admin user inside the default domain, but in a different project, I need to create a new volume and attach that new volume to a certain virtual machine, I just go to this left side, this left menu, click on it, and here I can see all the projects where the admin user is member. So I can just click, for example, this internal engineer project, and now I'm logged in as an admin user in the default domain into the internal engineer project. So it's really easy to see where you constantly right now. You don't have to, constantly rewrite environment variables in the command line, and it's a much safer process during the exam. So inside the Liberty dashboard, almost all the volume related tasks can be done under this main project menu on the left side, and if you click on that, you will see these volumes. Inside the volumes, you will see 3 tabs for volumes, volume snapshots, and volume backups. If you want to create a new volume, or you have to create a new volume, just click create volume button. If you have to delete it, just choose the correct volume and hit the delete volume, delete volumes. During the volume creation, you can specify the volume name, like volume test 4. You can give some description for your volume. You can choose the volume source. You just want to allocate some X amount of 3 GB storage space, or you actually want to use an already existing image or an already existing volume as a source. For this time, we are allocating only a free space. Then you can choose a type. Maybe your OpenStack environment during the exam will have many types for iSCSI, GlassRefresh, and many more. You don't have to configure it for your OpenStack environment, you have to use it. So this is the place where you can choose what type of volume backend do you want to use. And this is where you can choose the size, specify the actual size required for the new volume, and if there are many availability zones, maybe your task is specifying that which availability zones you have to use. Then just click the big create volume button. After the volume is created, if your task is to create a bootable volume, then you have to click again to the edit volume button here, and this time the interface providing this bootable checkbox what you can check or uncheck, and this is the way how you can create a bootable volume inside the OpenStack Horizon, which is a little bit hidden feature. It's quite strange. At first you have to create the volume, and after that you have to edit the volume to make it bootable, but this is how it is in Liberty. So I say that okay, this will be a bootable volume. Then I can, for example, if I have to attach a different volume to a virtual machine, I just click on this down arrow to the corresponding volume name, and I can see manage attachment, and here I can choose from all the instances what instance I want to choose to attach or detach my volume. I just click OK, let's choose this instance and hit the attach volume to that virtual machine. Also, usual task during the exam to extend the volume size, so I just need to find a corresponding volume, click the down arrow again, and I just need to detach first that volume from the virtual machine. So detach the volume, yes, I want to detach it. Now the volume detaching and almost detached. So now I can say that I want to extend the volume size, and click on that, and I see the current size, and I just specifying the new size of that volume. Oops, sorry. So I hit extend volume. and I just need to reattach to the virtual machine again. Also, there are some tasks when you have to create a snapshot or a backup from a volume, so just choose the corresponding volume, specify the task, hit again the down button, and then just create the snapshot or create the backup which is required to do. And you just name it test snapshot, and you just simply create your volume snapshot. And here you can see that the dashboard is by default move you to the volume snapshot tab under the volumes. So here you will see the volume snapshot, and if you have them, you will see the volume backups. So this is how to create and modify volumes. Sometimes you will get a task during the exam that you have to create a new volume, but the volume creation will be failed, and your job is to find out why it is failed. And usually what is happening is that for that certain project, you reached already the volume quota, the number of volumes or the size of the maximum volumes can be used. So what you have to do is that you have to become admin in the dashboard again, and probably go to the admin project as well. And if you went to the admin or became an admin and the admin project, then you can find on the top, the top left side, you find this identify main menu, and under there is a project submenu. Here you have to search for the corresponding project where you already reached the limitation, and you have to just click the manage members, or you are clicking the down arrow and go to modify quotes, or click the manage members. You will get this pop-up window where you can go to the quota subtab, and here you will find the maximum number of volumes can be created by this project. The maximum number of snapshots can be created by the project, and the total size of volumes and snapshots related to this project. So this is the way where you can modify this information inside the Liberty version of OpenStack. And since 2017 in the beginning, we are still on the Liberty, so the exam is still on the Liberty version, but is my information correct? Sooner or later, the OpenStack Foundation will be switching the environment to the Newton release. So I want to show you what is the difference regarding to Cinder in the Newton release of OpenStack. So this is the Newton version of the OpenStack dashboard. As you can see, nothing really much changed. It became a little bit more stylish. Still, top right side, you are seeing the actual user what you are used to logged in currently. On the top left side, you are seeing the domain and the project where you are actually logged in. Only difference is that this time you're not seeing two panels, like one for domains and the next to that domain is the actual projects. You see on the top side the domains, and the bottom side you see all the projects inside that domain. So that's one of the changes. The other big changes related to volumes inside the Newton release is that when you want to create a new volume and edit volume, so everything is the same, like creating volume, making the volume is viewable is still done using after creation this edit volume button. So you are still not able to specify that this volume will be bootable during the volume creation time. The only big difference is that inside the dashboard you are not provided a way to create a backup of your volumes. You can create a snapshot, but you cannot create a backup, so that's a big difference. Other than that, the quota is still fine by you have to go become the admin again, so admin user, admin project, to be able to go to the left side, identify projects. You find the corresponding project where you need to increase the quota for volume creation, and you just click modify quotas, and you will see this is the number of the volumes, the number of snapshots, total size of volumes. So everything else other than the creating a backup is totally the same what is happened in the Liberty version. The only difference that you cannot create backup here, and you cannot, or the way how you have to choose between projects and domains look a little bit differently. So that's all it. If you want to use a command line, because you don't really like at all this web user interface, one extra trick, what you have to make sure that you know that the way how you can create a backup is using the OpenStack volume. So as you can see, OpenStack help volume, you see there is OpenStack volume backup create, backup delete, backup list. So this is the way in the command line how you can create backups inside the Newton release. And if you want to create a snapshot of the volume, then you are not using the OpenStack volume command. You have to use the OpenStack snapshot command in order to create snapshots from a given volume. So that's, I think, all. If you want to have a proper preparation for your exam, for your certified admin exam, then go to our website, http://componentsoft.eu. We are providing currently a 4 days multi-node environment preparation course for the Liberty COA exam. We are currently updating our own infrastructure and our own training material into the Newton release as well. So if you want to have a 4 days long multi-node environment to actually be able to prepare your exam, then we are providing on-site and live virtual classes for our students. Also, if you want to have a little bit deeper knowledge what is actually required to do the certified OpenStack administration exam, and you want to have a lab practice and training for how you can install OpenStack in a high availability mode, then we are currently providing a 4-day OpenStack Liberty HA deployment consideration course, and we are providing an OST 204, or we are still upgrading our course material for HA deployment consideration for OpenStack Newton release. So again, go to our website, and if you have any questions, just write an email to info@componentsoft.eu or directly to me at chaba@componentsoft.eu. Thank you for your attention. These were all the tips that I was able to give you. Good luck with your exam.